Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to the Big Scoop with Coop. I'm your host, Coop. And today I actually have on the line today, Miss Kathy Brandon. She is the founder of the Ready for Happiness group and Happiness Television Network, Welcome to the show, Miss Brandon.
Hi, Scoop. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing just fine, Yes, what we actually have today, I was just telling everyone, Miss Brandon, that I'm actually bringing you on, and I want the world to know everything that's going on with the Happiness TV Network and for the Ready for Happiness group. And the funny thing is, Ms. Brandon, when I was telling people about it, people was like, they were saying to me, hey, Coop, what is this show, what is Happiness TV about? And Coop, what's going on with this Happiness group? So today, Ms. Brandon, I want you to tell everybody what's going on. So let's start off from the beginning.
Okay.
All right, let's start off from the beginning. How did the idea and the creation of the Ready for Happiness group come to reality?
You know, back in 2005, I have a history of being in corporate America like most people do. I'm ex-Microsoft, and then when I left Microsoft, I spent about 7 years in a CPA firm. And I was very successful in corporate. I had great jobs and made good money, all the goodness that comes with that. One of the things that I was really challenged with in corporate is, in corporate you are paid to work with anybody that they choose. Mm-hmm. And I'm fine with that because I have big love for everybody and the whole world delights me, except that I became a mom of twin boys. And within a year, I became a mom of teenage adolescent boys, stepsons. And through my vision of how I was contributing and how I was living and how I was really showing my boys what is possible in this world, I looked around at my life and I had to really start looking at what was I really living. I had these teenage boys that, teenagers don't listen to what you say. They listen to how you live. And so I would always talk about, you can do anything you want. And then I was, hating my corporate job, not because there was a problem with the job, but because I had a bigger contribution to make. And so I just found myself sitting in a place of true hypocrisy. And so I started looking around, and I could go back into technology, or I could stay in finance. And what I really thought was a bigger problem was that people really didn't have the courage, and they didn't have the resources to actually start a business other than kind of what was traditionally out there. Right? You have your experience, and you're like, I want to hang a shingle. And so you automatically hang a shingle inside what you have experience in. And what I found is that a lot of people found their passion and found their dream job going outside of their experience or tweaking their experience to where it actually fits a lifestyle for them. So when I started looking around, I wanted to own my own business. I knew that for a long time. I started looking at all the options, and I had a bigger problem than most people. I had too many options available to me because I'm a good businesswoman. And so there were multiple types of businesses that I could open up. And when I started working with a coach to try to understand what that looks like, she told me to really identify what did I do when I had nothing to do. And what I did when I had nothing to do, when I was very honest with myself, was I'd call up all my friends, and I would find out what was going on in their life. And I would try to help them and talk to them and champion them and really come up with tangible physical results and solutions that they can have in their life around what makes them happy. I had friends that were locked in corporate jobs that didn't want to be there. They wanted to do something else in the world. I had friends that, played sports, and they wanted to do something in that realm. They just couldn't figure out how. And so what I decided to do, one day I was just kind of sitting around feeling sorry for myself, and I was like, you know what? I just want to run around helping people figure out their freaky little weird happy. And then I want to make sure that they do that happy, no matter how weird it is, no matter how far out it is. I am sick and tired of the world laughing at people who have this freaky little weirdness, and they're passionate around it. And so I decided that I didn't know if I could make an ounce of money. I didn't know if I could support my family. I had no idea. I just knew that everybody in the world was doing something that somebody else was doing, but no one was really focusing on helping people really identify and live out that unique happy. And so I decided I was just going to start a business that helped people do that. Now, I focused on happy business for the first 9 years of the business, or the first 8 years of the business, because I thought that was the most broken. But that's really how it formulated. I found myself a hypocrite. I looked around at what I really enjoyed more than anything else in the world, and I like to watch people live happy. I don't like to listen to people talk about happy. I don't like to listen to people wish about happy. I like to see people implement.
And
that's really where it started.
That's a great thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a great thing, because it seems like a lot of people will do more talking than action. And it seems like it gets people down, because people have an idea or a mental thought where they want to be at and what they want to do, but they don't know how to take that first step forward towards it. And it seems like that's what you're actually doing for them.
And actually what we're doing, most people know the first 2 steps to starting anything. Where people really get hung up, Michael, is the 4th and the 5th step and the 17th step. And when life gets overwhelming and you have a family and you have a full-time job and you're trying to start a business, how do you find the time to do the marketing and to service your customers? So I find that people really have a hard time implementing once they get in. Implementing in the beginning when you're fresh and excited about it, it's not hard. You're willing to stay up all night. You're willing to go without sleep. You're willing to stand on your head in the corner and stack babies. That's what I like to call it. You're willing to do that, right? Then once the new wears off, you get a few rejections, then it gets tough. And that's where I really like to come in, because it's not tough. It's a realignment of what you're doing with your time.
Very true. Now, speaking about doing with your time and everything, it seemed like you got the group together and you did everything. Next thing I know, I'm hearing about Happiness TV Network. So you tell people about that. What is the Happiness TV Network? A lot of people want to know this.
Well, and, that's the most exciting part of our business model. It is the only part of our business model that we didn't put a business plan together when we started it. We create businesses, we implement businesses, so creating business models and price lists and profitability is not hard for us. Where I found myself in probably the 6th year of my business is I wasn't doing enough marketing in the realm of video production. I wasn't getting my face out there. I was so busy promoting my clients and getting their face out there that I basically wasn't eating my own dog food. And so I worked with a coach and couldn't get out of my way. And then one day I started seeing people out in Google Hangout, and I thought it was a really cool tool. I do a lot of marketing from home, and I do a lot of online marketing. And so when Google Hangout came out, I was like, oh, this is a beautiful way for me to get on video and just get used to it. And so I went on I was on a couple of Google Hangouts with some friends. And then I was sitting around again one night, just watching TV, and I think I watched Spartacus. And, I like history TV. And so I didn't mind Spartacus, but when I got to the end of it, I was like, wow, there's a lot in that program that, it didn't take away from the story, but boy, there's a lot. Anybody who's seen Spartacus knows what goes on there. And so I was like, there is not anyone out there putting TV out there for people that is uplifting, that really goes into introducing real people, like human beings that wake up every morning and who are doing these miraculous things out there. And so what I thought was the best way I ever get out of my own way about something is to do service for something else. Like, I'm a big service girl, and so I can climb mountains if I'm in service to somebody else. And so what I did was all my clients needed to be on video, and I'm like, I'm just going to create this network where all we focus on is real people, real uplifting stories, truthful information. And we're going to try to go out there and inspire some people. And in the meantime, hopefully we can all get out of our way with how we look on video, our own little problems with, we're having a bad hair day. Let's all get over it at the same time. Let's climb this mountain together. And that was a couple of years ago. And what has occurred is the most phenomenal thing. We went out there just trying to uplift people. And now, Michael, we're being approached by all sorts of people saying, what are you doing with this thing? And we're like, we don't really know. We're out here, inspiring people, and we're making collaborations, and we're working with nonprofits. And, we just want to be out here promoting real people and inspiring real people to make that step. And so that's what Happiness TV is all about. We have 5 programs now. We have Ready for Happiness Live, which I hope you'll be on the Ready for Happiness Live show. That's a beautiful show. We also have another. Yeah, I'd love that. I'll send you an email after this program's over. We have another show that is really exciting. We call it Couples Who Work Together and Love It. And we named that show where we find it an anomaly in the world, where couples who work together actually love it. And so what that show is all about is introducing couples who work together and love it and digging into the way they live and the way they work so that other couples who want to love working together but don't have some examples to follow, right? Little tips and tricks and stuff like that. And so what we're looking for is we're looking for guests of that show. We're looking for people who have created a unique way of being happy in this world. We want to showcase that. We want to tell the world about those people. And that's what the network is. We've got a lot of shows in production, and we're always open to interesting ideas about shows. And
how can people preview your show?
What you can do is you can go to www.readyforhappiness.com/happiness-TV. And you can watch all the shows. You can sign up to be a guest on the show. You can sign up, have a conversation with me about an idea for a show, because we're looking for great shows to put on Happiness TV Network. Our goal is to have 50 shows that air during the month, all different varieties, all different flavors of happy. And so, anybody who's out there that wants to start a show that doesn't really want to do all the admin and all the production of it, we love collaboration. So we're looking for those kind of people who want to get happy TV out there. We're not here to replace, but we are here to give an option for people who need that in their life. You can have your Spartacus moments, but let's have our Happiness TV moments too. Let's balance.
That's very true. Very true. I like that. So, people, I hope everybody heard this. If you have a show idea, please contact Ms. Brandon, because I guarantee she will work with you. Like you said, collaboration is the name of the game, and she will actually help you out trying to get this show on television. So, please, this is your best opportunity. Ms. Brandon is always here to help you out. Now, also, Ms. Brandon, I do have to ask this question. Now, I know you said that's the way to contact you at the same time as far as it goes for Happiness TV, but where do you see Happiness TV and the Ready for Happiness group 5 years from now? Where do you see them at?
Well, 5 years now, what we're on is we are on what I call a 3-pronged trajectory. And we started the company Ready for Happiness, and we took the first probably 6 years focusing on helping people in the world come to a place where they're ready for happiness. When we started this company, Michael, people just laughed and pointed at us for having this business. Now Coca-Cola is popping out cans of happy, and we've become popular. So it's a beautiful thing that the world is caught up. For the last probably 2 to 3 years and through next year, we are focusing on implementing happy. And so you have to be ready for happiness first, and then you move into implementing happy. And then the last phase, and where we're going to be in 5 years from now, is we're going to be knee-deep into the phase of happy called sustainable joy. Sustainable joy is really what people are looking for. That is the permanent feeling. That's the permanent state of being. You have to be ready for happiness. You have to implement happiness in order to experience sustainable joy. And so our programming and our vision for the organization is a very, very long-term process. Within about 2 years, everybody's going to be sick of talking about happy. We're already sick of it now because we were in the game before most people. And so we're basically trying to take the world to this place of sustainable joy, but we have to go through these processes first. And Happiness TV Network is a part of that. You know, we showcase people who are implementers, people who are doers. That is who we focus on. You know, we have an arsenal of strategists and professional speakers who can, you know, inspire you to get ready for your happiness. And then we've taken the last 9 years to build an arsenal of vendors and providers who focus on a unique happiness in their realm: happy body, happy business, happy family, happy spirit. And so what we're going to be doing in 5 years is we're still going to be readying people for happiness. We're still going to be implementing, well, our happiness provider network will be implementing happiness. And then what we will be doing as an organization is we'll be taking people out of happiness into a more permanent state of being, which is called sustainable joy.
Wow. Wow.
We want to change the world, Michael, and we're going to stand out here and we're going to change the world, and that's really what we're looking at. You know, we don't mind being laughed at. We're thrilled that we're popular right now. We know that everybody's going to be sick and tired of happiness in about 1.5 years. We know the business world. We know the world at large, and they're going to be ready to move into a whole new state that the world hasn't experienced before, and that's called joy.
Wow. I mean, this is really amazing because you really have everything planned out. And it looks like everything is going in that direction already because, Ms. Brandon, believe it or not, and folks, what I'm about to say, I never even told Ms. Brandon this. I checked out your website quite a few times, and I was very amazed. And the reason why I was amazed because looking at the information you have on your website on as far as it goes for Happiness TV and everything, it shows that you have a promising future that's coming. And I see this happening. I really do. And I'm going to really be keeping my eye on this. And folks at home, if you're listening to this, and I know you are because we're live right now, make sure you stay tuned to this also because something big is going to go down with this. I can feel it already. I really can. And Ms. Brandon, I do want to say congratulations ahead of time because I can see what's going to happen. I really do.
Thank you.
And I want to congratulate you.
Thank you so much. Yes. Thank you. We're just here to contribute. We're here to serve, and it's a lifelong mission. Mm-hmm.
You're doing a great job. You are. Now, even though you kind of explained this, but I want to ask it anyway, what is your ultimate goal for Happiness TV Network and the Ready Happiness Group? What is your ultimate goal for it?
What we want to do is we want to give people a place, a environment, a community, a resource base so that they don't have to be alone. My role model is Harriet Tubman. And so I believe that we have to show people, real people who are actually doing this in order for the rest of the world to step into what's right for them. And so the long-range goal for Ready for Happiness itself is to be a living, breathing example of how individuals, groups, and organizations can really do things their way and still be a collaborator. You can do it your way without being defiant. And so we're in the game of being an example. And Happiness TV is more of that. Happiness TV, we want Happiness TV to be a 24-hour network where anytime anybody across the world can go to www.readyforhappiness.com and access inspiring, implementable lives.
Wow. Wow. That's what I'm talking about, Ms. Brandon. And just one more time, Ms. Brandon, give them that website one more time.
It's www.readyforhappiness.com, or if you want to just locate us, you can just go to Google and search for Happiness Chick, all one word, Happiness Chick, and we will be the first 3 pages that come up.
Wow. Yes, please make sure you're going to do this because, like I said, I'm going to be on board of this, and I like it. And I've been a fan of this for a while, ever since I've actually went to your website and checked it out. I go up there almost every other day to look at this because I do see this going to actually turn into a 24-hour program. I can see it happening. I really can.
Yeah.
Now, Ms. Brandon, also, one more question. What advice would you give anyone that is looking for success and happiness?
What I would tell you is, I would probably tell you the same thing that I was told, is the contribution and the purpose you're supposed to make in this world, it does not live inside your current job. It does not live inside your family. It does not live inside your body, and it doesn't live inside your spirit. The answer to what you're supposed to be doing, how you're supposed to be contributing, how are you supposed to be living, lives inside what you do when you have nothing to do. If you want to be happy in your life, pay attention to what you do when you have nothing to do. That is what makes you happy. And so it can be the smallest little bitty things. I have a friend that likes to play Frisbee golf. They love it more than life itself. It always makes sense to me how much they love it. I love it, but I don't love it that much. But that doesn't mean, they're a professional disc golf player. They went to Switzerland last year. It was all paid for. They have sponsors. Who gets to do that?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's true.
But they paid attention. Yeah, they paid attention to what they do when they have nothing to do. They would go play Frisbee golf. And so I come into the world and I'm like, okay, if you love playing Frisbee golf more than you love doing anything else in your life, why isn't that your job? And they're like, I don't know. I don't think I know how to do that. And I was like, well, let's figure out how to do that because that's ridiculous. Why spend 40 hours a week to make a paycheck when you can make a paycheck doing anything?
That's very true. Very, very true. And, a lot of people, I believe, that works 8 to 5s, they're forced to go to work because they need the funds. But they're not happy when they go in there. And that's the thing. You're showing a way for how everyone can become happy, make a career out of it. And you can wake up in the morning and say, hey, I'm ready to go to work because it's something that I like to do. And
I worked a full-time job. Yeah, I worked a full-time job starting my business. The first 4 years of my company, I had a full-time job. I was raising newborn twins. If I can do it, anybody can. I'm no different than anybody else who wakes up and breathes in the morning. We can do this. We just need people around us who believe in it. And so that's really what this is all about, Michael. That's the reason you and I are on this show. That's why you have your show, is we are here to give people a guidepost, like Harriet Tubman did. Happiness is the Underground Railroad to joy. If you need a railroad, come see us because that's what we're here to do. We don't leave anybody behind.
Wow. Well, that's one thing I want to say. I'm going to be staying tuned, and we need that railroad. We need that track to see where we're going. So I want to thank you, Ms. Brandon, for coming on the show. I want everyone to make sure you go to the website, check out her website. If you have an idea, make sure you get in contact with Miss Kathy Brandon and you let her know what's going on because she will try to make your dream a reality. And you just got your right here on the Big Scoop with Coop. And I want to say thank you again, Ms. Brandon, and please be a guest on my show again. I want to bring you back on.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome. And you have a great day, Ms. Brandon.
All righty. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.